Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 110-106 victory against the Miami Heat. Riker, 3-game win streak, Gary Trent Jr. setting franchise history records. This was a phenomenal performance from the Toronto Raptors against one of the league's best teams. No Kyle Lowry, unfortunately. This was supposed to be his return game, but the game did not disappoint. How we feeling after this W, Riker?
Ben. Hey, yo, bing bong. We got ourselves a team back in the running. Bing bong. This one, pure excitement. Pure excitement on the heels of a great comeback. Very tight game down the stretch. A lot of heroics from Gary Trent Jr., from OG Anunoby. No spoilers. Pascal Siakam, you doubling down on him being an elite defender, proving true in the clutch against Bam Adebayo. Had a crazy game himself tonight. No Lowry disappointing, but Drizzy Drake did show up. So, Ben, lot to pick at in this one, but the Raps, they in it. They in it.
They in it, they ballin', they coming out in this game and just going. Riker, they were shooting it up like they were just in a gym with no fans around. The walls, the depth perception solid. It was like a pickup game just in terms of how players get hot. And as people around Toronto, before we dive into everything, pickup basketball is back. Right, Ontario's opening up, the world's opening up, and games are back. And we've been lucky enough to partner with Javelin Sports to get you a pin comment for this game, and you'll be able to find people you want to play pickup sports with for free as well. The app is free. Download it. It helps us out. It'll be great for you. 2, find some gyms. You want to find those gyms around the Ontario area and coming soon, different places across Canada. Get in early. Download this application. Right. You got to find those gyms, find those spots, not only for basketball, Riker, ball hockey, volleyball. It seemed like every sport's out there. Recreation. Riker's got the home gym now, but he's going to be using Javelin Sports to get the weights going. It's a fire app, fooling around with it over the past week or so. It's been awesome. Definitely download it, and it helps us out big time. Use the link in the description. You got anything to say on Javelin before we super dive into this game?
Free to download, free to use. Get your gym time, make friends. That's it, Ben. That's it.
And play with the Raptors Digest. You guys want to play against Riker, myself, Josh, when we're in Ontario? We're getting one. We got a lag.
Yeah, that's probably me. So I'm a switch to hotspot because it can't handle my hype right now. And I'll let you take it away, Ben. Sound off in this game. Gary Trent Jr., whomever.
I think we're back. I think it completely froze, but we were pitching all that stuff. But Gary Trent Jr., we're diving into this game. We're talking about this right now. The streams, it's too hot right now. The chat's cooking. Everything's rocking. But Gary Trent Jr. tonight, Riker, 32 points. 32 points in this game. 13 of 17 from the field. 11 rebounds. 2 steals. 2 assists. And setting records. His fifth. Or that's Bam Adebayo. I'm reading the stats incorrectly. 33 points, 11 boards for Gary Trent Jr. That's too wild. But 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 6 of 10 from the 3-point line. Set 2 records in this game, tied to DeMar DeRozan for the most amount of 30-point games back to back. 5th straight game with 30+ points as well. Gary Trent Jr. I think it's his 5th straight game with 5+ threes. So this is some records happening here tonight, which is huge, Riker. We keep going. The audio is bad on both sides. Riker's seed in the Eastern Conference right now, and we were able to beat them twice on a not back-to-back, but on a back-to-back tonight. They were also on a back-to-back. But teams usually come out motivated. I was a little bit worried, Riker, because they dropped the ball against the Boston Celtics in the previous one. They dropped the ball. And then they came back. They came back in this one, and I thought they'd be more fired up. I thought they'd be more ready to go. The internet's distracting me on my rants, but I think we're solid here. Take on Gary as I ramble here.
My internet still sucks because you're cutting in and out, so hopefully my audio is coming through. I'm still trying to connect to hotspot, Ben, but I seem to be cut out of here again. Unfortunate timing given how good this game actually was. So I'm trying to put it together before we hit the segments. But Ben, what were you saying? Absolutely right. The Heat should have been fired up in this one, and they were. First quarter, first half. They outscored the Raptors. They had a pretty sizable lead. They were shooting insane from 3-point line. Raptors came out, played some crazy lockdown defense. They ran some good sets that appeased both you and me. I said, I don't love the full court trap. You said, I love when they blitz full court defense because it throws other teams off. Well, we got that compromise because they went full court press into half court trap rather than full court trap, which just leaves guys way too open. So they started to blitz the weird defenses. It threw Miami Heat off. They stayed close. There were some wild plays in the fourth, including Gary Trent Jr. extending a streak of 30-point games to make the Raptors all-time record, but particularly just icy step-back threes over a ton of guys on the Heat, which is a really formidable defensive team. Just embarrassing Spoelstra. And then guys like Achua, right, hitting threes to the corner pocket and looking at the bench like he had something to prove. The defense picked up. The Heat had something to prove. But the Raptors, they had more to prove, Ben, in this one. I'm going to try again to switch the hotspot. So take it away, sir.
Yep, for sure. And I love that you brought up Precious because off the bench tonight, he played really well. 12 points, 7 rebounds in this game. The propaganda is spewing. And we got a couple super chats in here as well. Marcel Martin saying Gary Trent Jr. is a headband assassin. Out here balling out like the bald mamba who killed it on the live watch along tonight. Definitely you haven't been checking those out. Check out Josh and Marcel balling out on the lives. You got something to say, Marcel the legend?
No, just shout out Marcel. I saw that at half. I saw that he was on and going into the third as well.
Yep, no, for sure. And we got another super chat from John Leng. I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize, but Lem good. And then, do you guys think Gary Trent Jr. should be our number one option moving forward? And Riker, this is something I brought up to you.
No.
In the pregame, not necessarily number one option, but if he continues to play, maybe obviously it's unrealistic to expect 30 points a night, balling out like this on a consistent basis. However, if he continues to play at somewhat this sort of level, he's a free agent after next season. He's going to be looking for a bag, and that's something we do have to consider because max contracts could be in the works for Gary Trent, which is good problems to have, I know, and it's wishful thinking, but it's pretty wild that Gary Trent Jr. has already elevated to sort of that standard.
Then we played a 7-man lineup tonight, which we were stretching it a little bit. We played 5 basically in the last game. And Banton, we'll talk about him at some point, but he did play significant minutes in his 7 minutes and 41 seconds of action tonight in the fourth. He played really good, had a couple of crafty passes. But Ben, we're willing to basically decimate our bench to give this guy the bag. I have no fears that we're going to give him that max cheddar because he's a scorer. True and true. And I'll gratefully bite my words that I wasn't thrilled with that Norman Powell trade. I'd be more thrilled if we can get Norman Powell back on this team.
Bring him home.
For a trade, but we'll see what happens.
For sure. And the super chats are coming in hot, Riker, early on in this one. And Turtle T is saying that so the Raps are going to be buyers come the trade deadline. Who are we most likely going to get and give in our push to make the playoffs and not the play-in? And that's the big question that we're going to be diving into a lot of videos over the next few days. With all the reports coming out, obviously the hope is to trade Goran Dragic. He's popping up on the screen beside us right now, Riker. Scotty Barnes is hugging him, but hopefully flip him. Michael Grange essentially reiterated everything that we said on the pods in the halftime of this game. So if we can flip him, maybe some other bench pieces, maybe one of our picks for a couple of guys, even just one dude that can either create off the bench consistently, right? Because obviously Delano Banton's a future guy. Precious Achua tonight who's balling out. But if he can, obviously the inconsistency isn't there. But, and we got the froze. Oh, he's back. I got Riker talking in my ear as I'm ranting. But Precious got to be a bit more consistent. But to answer the super chat, if we can flip Dragic as well as maybe a couple guys, maybe a pick for 1 or 2 players to be consistent, that will be huge for this roster to pair alongside our core, get Kem Birch back, and we're going to the ship.
Ben, you know that we're not going to flip Dragic now. We're probably going to end up buying out his contract after the trade deadline because Michael Grange came on at halftime and said that it's basically a done deal that we're going to trade him. Michael Grange, he was wrong about the Suggs. He's been wrong about basically every prediction that he's ever tweeted out. And when he says it on live television, it seems like a big L from my perspective. So see what happens. Lots of people in chat. I finally switched over to Hotspot. and find. Oh, and you
Yeah,
seem like you're
froze
frozen again on my screen.
Raving
I'm
about
having
the
troubles. I'm
Wi-Fi.
having trouble. You
It's
can
a tough
upgrade
life.
all the equipment in the world, but you're still a sucker for the Wi-Fi quality. However many bars of reception you can get. But Ben,
Man, and
let's give out some awards.
shout out
We can
shout out
pick
Turtle
that stuff
T.
after. Let's give out some awards.
Shout out Turtle T. First ever super chat. Glad it was a Raptors Digest. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate everyone in this chat. I see a lot of people talking about Terrence Ross. I see Boucher's headband being brought up and all of that. But we're gonna be diving into all of that sort of stuff. But before we do swing it into there, I'm happy we got to talk about Precious because I want to rave about him shooting some threes and dunking down in the lane and doing all that sort of stuff. But Pascal Siakam, he deserves his credit. He deserves his flowers because we're getting used to it now. We're getting accustomed to Siakam playing well. And tonight, the touch wasn't there. He didn't have his sort of rhythm going, finishing it around the lane and all that sort of stuff. Missed a couple of bunnies, but that will not deter Pascal Siakam. And he kept going at it, kept staying confident, knocking down his threes, 21 points, four rebounds, 6 assists in this game. I'm making sure this is the right stat line here. I'm reading off of...
Are you talking about
I'm reading
Pascal?
the wrong stat. 16 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists. I got a weird setup here. Three steals.
Oh, he had rebounds on rebounds tonight's game.
No, for sure. He was balling out. What did you see from Pascal in this one? Because his all-around game has become elite.
Well, we'll cap it off in one possession, and that's how the entire game went for Pascal. Was you called me out. You said that I called Pascal Siakam non-elite defender. I just called him a good defender. You defended that he was a good defender on the elite tier. I was resistant to it. He's been proving himself as of late. And then Ben, deep in the fourth quarter, tight game. The Raptors are only up by 4 points. Bam Adebayo gets Pascal Siakam, instead of biting on the pumps, instead of reaching in across the body for a foul, he just stays square, keeps his hands up, forces a bad hook shot, grabs the rebound. And if he's defending against Bam Adebayo, forcing one of his only 4 misses in 17 attempts this game, Ben, that is elite defense, sir. He's playing out of his mind.
Not just you, Ryker. I put it at 80% of the chat, 90% of the chat. The most liked comments. They were all hating my take, my defense, my passionate defense of Pascal Siakam being an elite defender, being elite. He's more than elite, Ryker. He's proven to be one of those upper echelon guys. The way he's switching in front of people, the way Scotty Barnes, obviously, it's the comparable, right? Scotty Barnes is a rookie, still super athlete, and has done a great job this season staying in front of people, but there's just the ability to slide in front of people, know where to be, get your hands in there and tip basketballs, right? That's something that comes with experience. That's something Pascal has on top of his athleticism, on top of his mobility. Yes, he's not going to be a Joel Embiid or Rudy Gobert in there in terms of being a center, even though he's gotten some blocks recently. His value is more than the fact that he can switch onto those bigs, as we saw with Bam Adebayo tonight, but he can guard around the wing. He can stay mobile. He can do all that sort of stuff. So that's huge. Got to give credit there. Scotty Barnes. Let's get a little drum roll going, Ryker. Let's get a little drum roll going. That's right. Because tonight we're giving an award, the Scotty Barnes Award tonight. It's going to none other than Scotty Barnes. And clearly, when you're a guy that gets the most rebounds on the team in single digits, right? You got to get the Scotty Barnes Award. 9 rebounds for Scotty in this one, 11 points, and had a clutch bucket down the stretch of this one. It's I'll get on a rant in the final alarm, but what have you been seeing from Scotty Barnes? Had the second highest plus minus for the game. Did struggle guarding Bam Adebayo at times during this one, but stays level-headed, knocked down some shots. What did you see from Scotty?
Well, Ben, you're putting a meme to why he gets most rebounds in the single digits. No, sir. For flashing defensive potential and guarding the best player on the court for the majority of this game, right? When they played a lot of switching at top, kind of that 3-2 zone defense, but most of the time in that one-on-one matchup, whether by design or, either they were looking for that switch on the Heat side, or we were trying to get Scotty Barnes because we didn't want foul trouble for Siakam or OG. He did a pretty good job. A couple times he got blown by, but Scotty, he's just so big, so tall, so long. I love what I saw from him. He got me stuttering. He has me stuttering just like Nathan Mason has me stuttering here with that big super chat that just rolled in.
Whoa! Big super chat from Nathan. To help get some better Wi-Fi. Go Raptors, playing amazing, bringing home, bringing Norm home. We greatly appreciate that big super chat. All the super chat money's going to the Wi-Fi. It's going back into the setup. Got the new laptop here, setting it out.
If anybody knows of a good Wi-Fi extender, put it down into the comments, because I'm on the Wi-Fi extender. It's clearly inadequate. The gear is all right. It's the darn Wi-Fi.
And if you really want to help us out, download the Javelin Sports app. That's the big thing that will help us out big time. So that's another pitch. I think my rant on Javelin got a little bit cut off, so I might have to do an extra one there with the Wi-Fi. But that's something. But shout out Nathan there, and we don't want to miss Marcel Martin, the Legends super chat, obviously integral member, the moderator. That's how you pronounce it. Moderator. Gary Trent Jr. snubbed from the Scotty Barnes Award. Marcel, it's not the best player award. It's the criteria is fluid for the Scotty Barnes Award. But yes, could definitely be snubbed. Could certainly be snubbed. But we also have, I want to address Mike Vick, because there's a few people saying stuff in the comments, always saying whenever we rave about Pascal. All I know is I've been defending this guy for 2 years. You, for the most part, too. You had a little dip there at one point this season, but you and I think, have been pretty, me especially, has been defending this guy and been roasted for defending this guy night after night after night. So I will not take the slander that we are happy with Pascal Siakam now.
No, Ben, it's crazy. Everybody's giving me two Wi-Fi extender recommendations, which is tough because they've all been different. So maybe I have to buy a bunch and try them all out. I'm looking at the video quality now, and it seems worse that I'm hotspotting from my phone, which should have full bar.
I think you're frozen.
So that'll tell you how bad service is in my
whenever we bring up the Wi-Fi, it glitches out. So
your internet, I just got a note. Your internet is unstable. It's tough. It's tough when the Raptors are playing so well and the internet doesn't want to cooperate. But c'est la vie, Ben.
This never happens in losses.
Get hard line.
The Wi-Fi never glitches out in losses. That's all I have to say.
I'm switching back. I'm gonna get off the my Wi-Fi extender, see if it improves. So I'm gonna cut out for a bit.
People are saying hardwire. That's probably the move. Might have to move the studio though. We got the crazy setup here.
510 people watching though.
Yeah, we love it. We love all the folks. People are rocking, but it's rocking. It's good. But OG Anunoby also. The stat line's popping up underneath. Make sure I say the right stats, because I've been reading the wrong stats the entire night. 13 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. That's solid. What are you?
I'm getting double teamed by internet and melatonin. Double teamed at the half court. The half court trap, melatonin and bad Wi-Fi, man. Let's swing into the segments before everything just absolutely dies on me. Let's go.
What will die first? Riker's wakefulness or his Wi-Fi? But tonight, the spicy P-lay of the day. Now, there's a few that I thought it could have went to. There's a few that I thought it would have went to. But it was overtaken by a single play down the stretch of this one. It was reminiscent of that Tom Chambers dunk where he jumped up, you plateau, physics, right? You get that parabola, you hit the top, right? And then out of nowhere, he just suddenly rises again. OG Anunoby crams it down over Jimmy Butler. It was sneaky. It was one of those sneaky poster dunks over an NBA star. That was huge, Riker. How we feeling about this dunk by OG?
Do you have what do you call those things? You're a math computer science guy. Measures angles.
A compass?
Protractor.
Okay.
Yeah.
A compass draws
Who's the math
circles.
guy now? Huh? Who's the math guy now, Ben? Protractor. Get a protractor out, because the angle of Jimmy Butler's body was 100% square, fully 90 degrees with OG. There's never been a cleaner poster in the history of basketball where a man went so directly over top of another man, rose above him, put the danger into Jimmy Butler's body with a knee, two hands clean over his head. What a perfect, magical dunk that was, Ben.
Ridiculous. OG Anunoby, he's had some sneaky dunks coming out of nowhere and just postering people. The one in college, this stuff over time. People have been calling me this entire podcast. Shout out Ali. I'm calling my guy Ali after this video. But it was crazy. I also want to give a little shout out, a little minor Spicy Pile shout out to Precious Achiuwa, who hit a wild corner clutch three off the dribble, no hesitation. Fred VanVleet kicks it out to Precious in the corner in front of his former team's bench, turned around and Steph Curry'd him as it went up. Pure cash. Precious Achiuwa is slowly becoming our best player off the bench, Riker.
That's tough. Well, you know, he might be the better player in tonight's game, but Chris Boucher took one right in the nards from Jimmy Butler. He took that for the team. Right, well, for the team, he put his groin there in the path of.
You're hustling. What? This happened to me the other night. What? We'll see if we're back. We can jump off and we can jump back on. We can jump off and then I don't know if we're back. I think we're back. Let me know, chat, if we are back, if we have returned, because yeah, we're good.
For sure we are. Because I'm looking at myself. Ben,
that wasn't even the Wi-Fi. That was my computer.
Ben, not all plays can be the Spicy Pile, and some, including Ben's performance on the OBS hotkeys, make you say, "Oh geez." Some plays, including Riker's Wi-Fi quality, make you say, "Oh geez," and none better than Chris Boucher sacrificing his groin for the flight path of Jimmy Butler's foot to pick up the offensive foul call against the Heat. It was perfect timing, perfect coordination of, you know, where you got to position your lower half in order to draw that foul, Ben. Oh geez.
How was that not a flagrant?
That's not a flagrant, bro.
He kicked the
flagrant
leg
is
out.
when it's excessive contact or intentional.
Awkward body movements.
Hardly intended to kick his foot into his
awkwardly
groin.
Moving his body to get him right in that area, that you know, the groin area. It's an L. But I don't know. I thought a flagrant could have potentially happened. But I also had another big OGs in this one, and I was raving about Precious's threes. How many did he attempt tonight? Attempted 3, made 2, but the one he missed was a complete above the break air ball. So that happened, and then the ball came down to Delano Banton, I believe, who missed 2 straight, basically wide open layups underneath the rim, and then Pascal Siakam got an offensive rebound, missed his, and then he got fouled on a shot. There was a bunch of offensive rebounds, a bunch of stuff happening. The game early in this one was ugly, and throughout there's a lot of missed layups, but that's just a testament to how good this Toronto Raptors team is. They're playing well. They're grinding through the mistakes. Clearly, this team is exhausted at times, running the short leash on the bench players. Did get 4 guys out there on the court tonight, but you know, even Champagny got a little opportunity in this one.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, definitely a lot of OGs in this. Like Stephen Wong saying, get a new segment, grade the refs. Honestly, get like the Leafs Digest and get a little grade system going. What are your thoughts on that there, Riker?
That sounds legit, Ben. But you know, we got 465 people in the chat, one of the most of this season, because the Raptors are finally on the up and up. Normally we're hovering around during a live 200 something. That means there's 200 people who have never experienced the Golden Kazoo live. Hold on while I get it. Check if the lotion is there in the background. Unfortunately it is, so hopefully nobody comments on that, but I will be back.
No one would ever comment on your lotion, Riker, and we have it back tonight. The Paul Pierce Golden Kazoo Award. It's becoming infamous. It's becoming super infamous. Paul Pierce coming back. Golden Kazoo Award of the night for the worst part of this game. And do you have anyone in mind, Riker, with as you blow on the Golden Kazoo?
That's for all the new. That's for the new people of the podcast. You're welcome. The Golden Kazoo, the infamous Paul Pierce Golden Kazoo. Do I have a standout? The answer is yes. Miami Heat, Eric Spoelstra, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, Pat Riley. Bad performers, bad trading away Precious Achua, who's going to be legit, trading away Dragic, who we're going to flip into somebody because Michael Grange swears that there's a ton of interest in him in the market. Joke's on you, Miami. We're coming for you. That's the Golden Kazoo.
To the Miami Heat for giving up Raptors legend Goran Dragic. For all of they're regretting that one, letting him walk. Clearly, he is a key player in this league, but that's who it's got to go to. There's no overtaking that. There's nothing you can say about that. But I think, Ryker, it's time. Get that final alarm sounded. You ready to get this rolling? That's right. The final alarm has sounded, and we want to hear from you guys in the chat. What your thoughts are on this game, what your thoughts are on the Toronto Raptors, this podcast, on whatever you want to talk about. We'll react to. We're reading the chats here. And as is tradition, a little like spike going. We got the likes popping in this video. We're over 100. I don't want to adjust my screen. I don't know what actual number we're at, but let's even get it for 200, because may as well. And Shane saying Masai feeding Grange crumbs, laughing about it. Him, Doug Smith, all the boys. And then, Kevin O'Connor's coming in and eating all that up from our Raptors beat reporters. Love to see it. Who's Dragic getting traded to? One team, real quick.
The Kings for Buddy Hield, like you said. Let's do it. Make it happen. Wish it to existence.
You heard it here. It's facts. But we're developing.
Or maybe it's just Kenneth Lau, and I've happened to read the chat every time he's made the comment, saying Levert, Karis Levert.
Levert's a guy that could be key. And Tristan saying we're trying to develop him. Maybe we're trying to develop a Precious or Goran Dragic. Put him in the G League, get him nice to trade. 40-year-old Goran Dragic. But Riker's Wi-Fi putting up Freddie Gillespie's numbers. I think both of our systems are killing it here tonight. But Golden Kazoo has to be PJ Tucker's flops. That's from Emmer Man. The flops have been absolutely atrocious from PJ Tucker. That was my mom was calling him PJ something that rhymes with his last name as we were watching this game.
Who was saying that?
My mother. My
mom
was getting juiced at PJ Tucker for flopping. So I got to make sure I don't let that slip. But we get fired up here. We get fired up here at the
What I will say, PJ Tucker, would love to have him back on the team. He's a competitor, defense guy, gritty guy, corner three guy. He's the same as Patrick Beverly and Tony Allen. I'm trying to think of defensive guys that are paying to play against. Tony Brothers, Tony Allen.
PJ Tucker's out here like Tony Brothers, ready to make an impact on these games.
Somebody's saying Tom Duke saying he likes Sheila. Too funny.
Mom's rocking out. Love to see it. The Monty Pythons liking our jokes. We appreciate the love. But PJ's a scrub. No, he's the defense gaping hole in the wall. PJ Tucker.
What are you saying? He guards Kevin Durant. He guards the best player in every team in every playoff series.
Yeah. He'd be a nice guy. He was a nice pickup for the Heat. Apparently he's having his best season with the Miami Heat this year, stats-wise, which is kind of crazy to think about. Obviously, he has the greatest meme. The meme that, speaking of laughter, that I died at the most in my life. The one where they had the micro ball in Houston, and then they had PJ Tucker on the stilts. And then he came out, not the stilts.
I don't get it.
PJ
That
Tucker
sounds
trying
like something you need to see
He
to
was like, he's like
to appreciate.
6'6" playing center. He's gonna be out there on the stilts. Not the stilts, Riker.
Viewers, it's not as funny as what Ben is making it seem like. It almost
it is. It's that. It's
this
that
is
good.
this is the blissful elatement that you get when the Raptors are on a 3-game win streak, and 2 of those wins include the #1 team in the East. And by the way, we're only 4 games back of 6th out of the playoff or the play-in picture, and we could overcome the Brooklyn Nets, believe it or not. We're still a game behind Charlotte, who's 7th.
Yeah. Charlotte's the
Still a
team
game
ahead
behind
of us.
Charlotte.
Then it
They've
goes.
been playing all right.
Yeah.
And I'm confident we'll pass them before it's all said and done.
Yeah, I've had the standings going in the little drop down below, but not for the post games because that's got the box score. But I got to integrate that into the script. I have a tracker too on how many games back we are of the 4th seed, because just like Pascal Siakam being an elite defender is a statement, and another fact is we're gonna be a top 4 seed. We're living that down. That's happening. But people were talking about Chris Boucher for Terrence Ross, Riker. I know you'd be down for that. Turn that frown upside down, sir. Bring back T. Ross. Where's the sauce?
Remember draft day. Joseph and Olenek is good because Canada.
Joseph and
Corey
Olenek.
Joseph and Kelly Olenek. I feel like how many trades can we possibly do with the Pistons at this point? And also, how many players do we want to give to Dwayne Casey? I don't know. But Ben,
do we have anyone on our team that Dwayne Casey's coach? Yes, Pascal and Fred. Is that it, though? OG. Pascal, Fred, and OG. Those are the only people left in the Dwayne Casey era, Riker. Time is flying.
You didn't get one season with Boucher? No.
Because Boucher came in the year with Kawhi. That was his first year. Because he won the chip with the Warriors, then he won the chip with us. He was going to be Patty McCaw folk. Fred
Fair
for
enough.
Ben. Would you do Fred VanVleet for Ben Simmons now? Young socialite? Did you get the young socialite dancing? As we're rocking out on this pod. We're at 500 concurrent viewers right now. We got Ben Simmons popping in this chat. Young socialite watch. Apparently he's not going to get traded. That's the big talks. No, Ben Simmons.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe Dragic for Ben Simmons. Just lay it out there.
Let's do it. Take it. And they'll finally get a point guard.
You know, it's the key. Can't allow Cleveland to get LeVert. Man. Are you afraid of the Cavs? Like long term? They got Mobley.
No.
They got... No? Not at all?
Their success is predicated on Markkanen and Mobley and Jared Allen and Darius Garland. They don't have to quote the man of the Golden Kazoo, Paul Pierce. They don't have the it. They don't have the it factor.
Man, Mobley's looking like a guy with a bit of it. That's all I'm saying there. He's looking like a guy with a bit of it. But that's one rant I wanted to go on earlier. Is everyone's talking like Scotty Barnes is completely out of the running now. Scotty Barnes is just as good of stats as Cade Cunningham and Evan Mobley. And he's on a way better team than the Pistons. Why is Scotty Barnes written out of the Rookie of the Year race now? I was going to make a rant video on it today, but I was absolutely exhausted.
Consistency, Ben. That's why.
But he's got better stats.
He doesn't have better stats.
He's got, looking at it, he's like a little bit down in points, but he's up in boards and assists compared to Mobley and stuff. And he's up there. He's got basically level stats with two of those guys.
But you got to think, too. Mobley's having better stats on a better team and a bigger role.
He was injured. He had a bit of a shoulder injury there for a bit. He's got less points. Scotty Barnes got that it factor, right? You're bringing up the it factor. Well, that's got to be factored into Rookie of the Year. I don't know. He's being thrown out of the race, which is cheesy.
You know who got Rookie of the Year, Ben?
Who?
Ben Simmons.
Elite. He's a multi-time Rookie of the Year award winner. But if he keeps getting disrespected, then he's got the most. And Riker, how many Scotty Barnes awards does Evan Mobley or Cade Cunningham have?
Yeah, they have 0. I can't argue with you there. That is.
Yeah, that's the true argument in this pod. But Scotty.
We're an hour past my bedtime, Ben. 4 minutes until, as a matter of fact.
4 minutes.
I postponed the melatonin because people were complaining that I got a little too tired. It's about to be taken. And so the clock is on. It's usually we got a 2 to 5 minute buffer before it just wipes me. So get the last couple of comments in here.
Well, let's get a little like spike going too for Riker out here, like Javelin, and just to make sure we're not we're doing our best, a little sponsorship as well. If you guys want to play some ball with us, check out Javelin Sports. Download the application. It's in the description. Raptors Digest Open Challenge. It's coming. Join our group on the Javelin Sports app. It's huge. Want to help us out? Obviously, like the video, but download that app. It is free. Free. Use the link in the description below. Helps us out big time. Big time. We'll greatly appreciate it. And also, next pod, we should be good for that giveaway. So subscribe to the channel. That's also huge.
Make sure you tune in.
Yeah, make sure you tune in as well. Big
Live
game
giveaway
against the Chicago Bulls, hopefully in the coming one. So that's huge.
And I would marry Norm Rogers, which you were the one you said it for 3 seasons straight. Norm Island. I've made it. I've created it. I'm the last one left on it. You're welcome to come back anytime. And you stayed on that island until Norm got good again. So good, in fact, that we fleeced the Portland Trail Blazers for their best player. Not Damian Lillard, not CJ McCollum. Their true best player, they just didn't realize it, was Gary Trent Jr.
Norm, your sacrifice is greatly appreciated. Prodigal son, you can come back home now. You can come back home. Masai, bring him home. Bring back Sergi Ibaka. Bring back everyone. Sweet Chili Philly, see? Same that we're 1 game behind the Charlotte Hornets. That's going to be gone now soon. I don't know if did I actually say I would marry Norm? Probably would have. How many hours I was thinking about this today, Riker. How many hours of video content do you think is out there on the internet of you and I just talking about the Raptors?
A game for every single game of the last 5 years.
Every single game in rumor. Yeah. 20 plus minutes.
We started in October 2017, did we not?
November 20th. November, like a little bit before my birthday. The first one, like the first proper video was that Lonzo Ball video on my birthday, 2017. First year uni.
November 2017. We're in our 5th year. This is our 5th year. So
crazy.
We're halfway to 800 games reacted to.
That's wild. That's wild. So I definitely probably said I married Norman Powell at some point over that stretch of time. But
JT91 saying, let's get Lowry and his family the best wishes before we leave, guys. Hopefully there's nothing bad going on. Yeah. I still sort of expect in the back of my heart that he wants a bigger crowd when he makes his actual return to Toronto to play against Toronto in a Miami uniform. And this wasn't the vibes. That's my feeling about it. And I can't fault the guy or blame the guy for wanting that, because it'll be a special reunion. We'll obviously have a celebration of his tenure, hopefully a statue unveiling in the same night. How cool would that be? Maybe I don't know, a jersey retirement, everything. Greatest Raptor of all time. Shout out. Hopefully nothing's wrong with his family.
Yep. No, wishing all the best for Kyle. All the best wishes. Obviously the Raptors growth. Even, we wanted to see him play tonight, but gotta respect the man's for being for his fam there and hoping everything's all good. We don't know what's happening with that, but obviously a big part of this channel as well over the past 5 years, as we mentioned. Lots of people shouting out the pods, giving the appreciation. Shout out Tom Duke. Kyler saying the first vid that he saw of us is the Valanciunas. Is the next Steph Curry. Our first viral video, Riker, in Lithuania.
Shout out. All right, it's officially 11. I said that was my clock. Then this has got to be it.
Email chains, you know what I'm saying, in Lithuania. Our Toronto saying we're the best podcast on the Raps. Appreciate it. Y'all are the goats. You guys make this podcast, especially with the live segments and all that sort of stuff. Our man's coming in saying tank for Chet. That's some cheese. But 1v1, Scotty or Mobley. Scotty, easy. Right, rounding out all these comments. We appreciate you folks, everyone. Y'all are the best for making it this far. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, the TikTok, the channel memberships. Definitely check all that stuff out. Lots of fun stuff happening over the next little while, especially with the trade deadline coming around. Riker, I'll ramble while you're looking for your last words. You're good?
I don't have to look.
Okay.
I don't have to look.
So, guys, as always, you guys are the best. Check out Javelin Sportswear. Keep plugging it. Helps us out big time, but we appreciate everyone. Subscriber giveaways coming soon. Riker, do you have any last words on this podcast?
Then I do. Remember this. If you don't get what you want, you suffer. If you get what you don't want, you suffer. Even when you get exactly what you want, you still suffer because you can't hold on to it forever. Your mind is a predicament. It wants to be free of change, free of pain, free of the obligations of wins and losses. But remember this, it's about the journey, the Raptors journey. Cheers and good night.